Tyler stood in the corner of the Marriott ballroom, holding a cheap beer and watching his high school classmates show off. 20 years since graduation, the guy who used to copy his homework now wore a Rolex. His old lab partner drove up in a Tesla. Everyone seemed to be winning except him, but here's the thing nobody knew. Tyler wasn't broke anymore. He made $58K as a warehouse supervisor in Memphis. He had $18,000 in savings. He was actually buying a house. 7 years ago, at 35, he had negative $3,200 in his checking account and couldn't afford new tires. What changed wasn't his income. He still made roughly the same money. What changed was he stopped buying 7 specific things that had kept him poor his entire adult life. This is Tyler's confession. The 7 financial traps he fell into for over a decade. The invisible money drains that made him feel like he was drowning while everyone around him seemed fine. If you're making decent money but still can't get ahead, one of these 7 things is probably destroying you right now. Thing 1. Subscription amnesia. Back when Tyler was 33 and broke, he sat down one Sunday and actually looked at his bank statement. Really looked at it. He found 17 monthly charges he'd completely forgotten about. Spotify Premium that he never used because he listened to the radio at work. A gym membership to Planet Fitness he hadn't visited in 8 months. 3 different streaming services. A meal kit subscription he'd cancelled but apparently hadn't actually cancelled. The New York Times Digital. An app that promised to make him a better guitar player. Xbox Game Pass. Cloud storage he didn't need. A meditation app he downloaded during a stressful week 2 years earlier. 17 subscriptions. $340 per month. Over $4,000 a year for services he'd signed up for during free trials or moments of motivation, and then completely forgot existed. The worst part? Each one felt small when he signed up. Just $9.99 here, $14.99 there. His brain categorized them as insignificant, but they added up like termites eating a house. Invisible until the damage was catastrophic. The day Tyler cancelled all but 3 essential subscriptions, he felt like he'd given himself a $280 monthly raise, because he basically had. Thing 2. The lunch trap. Tyler worked at a warehouse near the Memphis airport. Every single day, around 11:30, someone would say, "Where are we going for lunch?" And every single day, Tyler would go. Chipotle, Wendy's, a local barbecue spot, Subway, sometimes just the gas station for hot dogs and energy drinks. He told himself it was only $12 or $15. Everyone else was doing it. It was his break time. He deserved something good. But let's do the math Tyler refused to do for years. $15 per day, 5 days per week, 50 weeks per year accounting for vacation and holidays. That's $3,750 annually, just on lunch, not even counting the afternoon snacks or the Friday tradition of stopping for beers after work. One morning, Tyler's truck wouldn't start. Dead battery. The repair shop wanted $180. He didn't have it. He had to borrow money from his younger brother. That was his breaking point. He'd spent $3,750 on forgettable lunches, but couldn't afford a $180 car repair. The humiliation of that moment changed everything. He started bringing leftovers, sandwiches, meal prep on Sundays. His co-workers made fun of him, called him cheap, but Tyler stopped caring what broke people thought about his money. Thing 3. Discount delusion. Here's where Tyler got tricked for years. He thought he was being smart with money because he only bought things on sale, Black Friday deals, clearance racks, Amazon Lightning deals, 2-for-1 offers at Target. He'd come home feeling like a genius. This was $80, but I got it for $35, he'd tell his girlfriend proudly. But here's what Tyler finally understood at age 36. A discount on something you don't need is not savings. It's spending. He bought a $200 power drill marked down to $89 even though he rarely did projects. He bought running shoes on clearance even though he didn't run. He bought a second TV for the bedroom because it was 40% off even though he barely watched the one in the living room. A study from MIT found that the pleasure centers in your brain light up when you see a discount the same way they do with actual rewards. You're not saving money. You're getting high on the illusion of savings. Tyler had a garage full of great deals that he never used. Thousands of dollars of stuff that was worthless to him, but felt good to buy in the moment. The real wealth move, not buying it at all even at 90% off. Thing 4, the upgrade treadmill. Every 2 years, like clockwork, Tyler would get a new phone. Not because his old one was broken, because a new one existed. He'd see the commercials. His friends would get the latest model. He'd feel behind, so he'd walk into Verizon and sign up for another payment plan. $35 per month for 24 months didn't feel like $840. It felt like pocket change. Same thing with his truck. He traded in his 2015 Ford F-150 that was completely paid off for a 2019 model because it had a better sound system and leather seats. His monthly payment went from $0 to $480. Over 5 years, that decision cost him $800 plus interest. For leather seats and Bluetooth, he could have added for $300. The upgrade treadmill is brilliant marketing and terrible math. Companies have trained us to believe that last year's model is obsolete, that we're falling behind if we're not constantly consuming the newest version. But Tyler's 2015 truck got him to work just fine. His iPhone 8 made calls and sent texts perfectly. The upgrade didn't improve his life. It just made him poorer every month. Thing 5. Social media shopping. This one nearly destroyed Tyler's finances completely. Instagram ads, Facebook Marketplace impulse buys, TikTok shop, Amazon recommendations. He'd be scrolling at 10 p.m., half asleep on the couch, and suddenly he'd be buying a $75 weighted blanket, or a $120 pair of sunglasses, or a $200 gadget he'd never heard of until 30 seconds earlier. The algorithm knew him better than he knew himself. It showed him products at exactly the moment his willpower was lowest, late at night, after a stressful day, when he was bored, and the one-click purchasing made it frictionless. No time to think, no moment of hesitation, just click and bought. Tyler spent over $4,000 one year on random products he found through social media, most of it junk he used once or never. The dopamine hit of clicking buy now felt like treating himself, but he was actually just feeding an algorithm designed to extract maximum money from his account. When he finally deleted Instagram and Facebook from his phone, the urge to buy random stuff dropped by 90% within a month. Thing 6. The convenience tax. Tyler was tired. He worked 10-hour shifts at the warehouse. When he got home, the last thing he wanted to do was cook, clean, or do basic maintenance, so he paid other people to do everything. Uber Eats 3 times per week instead of cooking. Oil changes at the quick lube place for $70 instead of learning to do it himself for $25. Paying someone $150 to mow his lawn instead of spending 90 minutes on Saturday doing it. Hiring TaskRabbit to assemble furniture. Getting his groceries delivered with fees and tips. Each convenience felt justified in isolation. He was busy. His time was valuable. He deserved to relax. But the convenience tax added up to over $500 per month, $6,000 per year, for tasks that weren't actually that hard or time-consuming. Tyler was paying a massive premium to avoid minor discomfort. The shift happened when he realized something. Rich people often do these tasks themselves, not because they have to, but because they refuse to waste money on unnecessary expenses. Meanwhile, Tyler was broke and acting like he had money to burn. He started cooking simple meals, doing his own oil changes, mowing his own lawn, and the crazy part, he actually felt better, more capable, more in control. Thing 7. Borrowed lifestyle. This was the big one, the thing that kept Tyler trapped the longest. He financed everything to look successful, financed his truck, financed his furniture, financed a boat he used twice, put a $3,000 vacation to Florida on a credit card, bought clothes on Afterpay. He wanted to look like he was doing well, so he borrowed money to create the appearance of wealth, while going deeper into debt every month. His cousin once told him something that stuck. The difference between looking rich and being rich is that looking rich costs you money every month. Being rich makes you money every month. Tyler looked rich. He drove a nice truck, wore decent clothes, took trips, but he was completely broke. One unexpected expense away from disaster at all times. Meanwhile, guys he worked with who drove older cars and lived in modest homes were quietly building wealth because they weren't bleeding money on payments. When Tyler stopped financing his lifestyle and started living on what he actually earned, everything changed. It was uncomfortable at first. His social media looked boring. His truck was older. His apartment was smaller. But for the first time in his adult life, he could breathe. No more panic when the phone bill was due. No more juggling which payment to skip this month. Tyler looked around the reunion one more time. All those people showing off probably had the same problem he used to have, looking successful while drowning in payments. He used to envy them. Now he pitied them, because he knew the truth. Wealth isn't what you show people. It's what you keep when nobody's watching. At 42, Tyler finally understood what actually made people poor. It wasn't their income. It was buying these 7 things month after month, year after year, until they were too deep to climb out. The good news? You can stop buying them today, right now, this moment. And 7 years from now, you'll be standing somewhere realizing everything changed the day you finally stopped. Be honest with yourself right now. Which of these 7 things is draining your bank account this month? Just type the number, 1 through 7. Sometimes seeing it written in your own words is what makes it real enough to finally change.